Hello, this is Decoherent, and welcome back to some more Torment Tides of Numenera. So, when we last left off, we'd spent a full episode and a half now hanging out in this crazy bar for psychics, the Fifth Eye, which I really like because it implies that Four Eyes is just, like, totally normal. We met a couple aliens, we met, let's see here, a Soul Keeper guy whose entire race, which was linked in a psionic network, died. We met these guys that are in the process of fighting a war against something unpleasant called the Adversary. We met Malays, because that's just totally normal. And our ghost lady that killed us 2 episodes ago was talking about how there were 3 other people that were, I don't know, possessed by her or something like that, and gave some little riddles. And it was pointed out to me that one of them was described as offering joy and sorrow for coin, which sounds totally like that kid that gave us the flute buff. So, since I can't help chasing shiny objects around, I'm going to abandon the middle of my conversation about the Adversary just to go check this out. So let's see what's going on. Avina. As you regard this girl, you're struck by a spark of recognition. Although they hardly look the same, something about her reminds you of the ghost you encountered in the Fifth Eye. The little girl stands outside the old house, still playing the flute. She smiles as you approach. Song today, sir? Actually, yes, let's do that first, because I want to get a buff. Hey, price went up. Here's 12. Play me a happy song again. Although, actually, I'm spending 12 just for a buff on me, because I've died multiple times, and, you know, that's just how I roll.
I feel like I can take on the world!
Well, good for you. Some questions. Alright. You remind me of someone I met in the Fifth Eye. Her eyes narrow suspiciously. People say that to me sometimes. They think I'm one of those girls who are becoming somebody else, but I'm not. At least, not anymore. Not anymore? What do you mean? When I was younger, I used to feel like there was another person who was always nearby, just out of sight. Sometimes she'd even slip into my mind and I'd hear her voice. She glances away. I think I was supposed to become her. Her smile flashes then, and she looks back at you. But I wouldn't. Every night in my dreams we fought, and every night I won. After a while, she got weaker and weaker until I couldn't hear her voice at all. Now she's gone, and I haven't heard from her again. Interesting. So, do you remember the puzzle box you gave me? That belonged to another girl who was becoming someone else. It did? What if that's why it felt so right when I found it? Her eyes are wide, terrified. It's a good thing you took it away. If you hadn't, that thing might have come back, and I would have had to fight her again. Do you know anything else about her? No, and I don't want to. I don't think we had much in common. Maybe that's why I could fight her off and the other girls can't. She shivers. I'm just glad she's gone. Bah! Alright. Let's see here. Where did... I thought we had a quest for this. Yeah, here we go. She drove it out of her mind by sheer force of will. Interesting. Okay, there was one other that was described as a leader who'd given much sacrifice, something something, but she sounded an awful lot to me like that lady who had been, like, yelling at herself and doing whatever they were doing. So I just want to go poke at the underbelly quick and see if I can remember who that was. If you yell loud enough at your screen, I might be able to hear you. So we'll go take a look. And I swear we'll get back to the adversaries. I can't believe I almost missed an entire quest hub. I'm sincerely hoping that some part along this hub will give me a way to resolve the Stitches thing, because I don't want that cluttering up my quest log forever. I haven't decided if murdering something is worth clearing up my quest log. Honestly, it's fairly likely it is.
Do it.
But...
Or is it the other way?
Okay. Wasn't you, was it? Let's go poke at people quick. Okay. This is the construct. That's... oh, shoot, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong person. Well, let's just poke around real quick.
That's something I could do.
It better be. I'm instructing you to walk slightly to the left. Okay. Not you. Thug, pauper, mutants, paupers. Paupers, paranoid man, paranoid woman, mapper. Maybe I'm wrong about this. sworn that person who was yelling at herself was down here. That unfortunately means that it's in a different zone, so, well... Alright, I don't think I'm going to get too sidetracked here. I think I may just go and continue on with our little adversary thing.
I'm going.
Oh, wonder if we can poke at this again. I don't think this counts as another day, though. Oh, tug on the line again. You take hold of the fishing rod and begin reeling in the line, but nothing is on the hook. Okay, so... Yeah, because this girl wasn't the leader. She was just like some punk kid. Well... Alright, never mind. I'll have to think about that. I may, off camera, just like walk around and talk to everyone until I find the right person, because that's not an interesting thing to watch. Brute forcing a quest step, so we'll see. I'll think about it. So, back to the bar. Said everyone ever. Oh, and that word, entheogen, I think it's pronounced, means something that induces a different state of consciousness. Pardon me. So, I haven't talked to you yet. Let's go talk to Leto, though. Of the Atreides. Never mind. Maybe he's got the spice. Let's find out. Although this woman's face is young, she has been beaten hard by the sun. Ugh. She wears a tight-fitting skin suit under loose desert robes. Ah, cute. Her eyes are a deep and unsettling black, with no whites to be seen. Occasionally streaks of light race across them, flashing in the shadows of her hood like stars plummeting from the sky. Her eyes should be blue. I am Leto, she says. I saw your coming. Now you are here with me. Okay, what can you tell me about yourself? To the northeast, in the middle of the Lost Sea, there is a small town called Jeroba. Dwarfed by the magnificence of the oasis of Mirajolios, Jerboa is a town dependent on the charity of its neighbor. She nods to the bartender, and he refills her drink, floating a bottle through the air without touching it. Yeah, we get it. It's telekinetic. I was born in the slums. The Girbra, residents of the city, would sometimes tour our ghetto. One of them saw my eyes and declared me touched by their god, Nikul. They taught me the deep secrets of their church and showed me how to comprehend the tapestry in my mind. But one day, I saw a light flare in Sagas Cliffs. Though this city and mine suffer hostilities, I knew that I must brave these dangers, for I saw the darkening storm. She grips her sleeve. I see the futures. I will not be able to return home, but I arrived in time to aid Dama in his struggle against the adversaries. For a time, I was able to read the strands to help our team prepare against the adversaries' attacks, but they learned to cloak themselves against me, and all I could see of their intent was a generalized darkness. I am of little use against the adversaries now, but I remain to help against other foes. Look, it's really cute that they're making a Dune thing about this. So what can you tell me about the people here? I know the stories of my comrades in arms, their past and their future. I have a deep bond with Ziob, a relationship with Therbos. Friendship, sorry. My respect for Dama knows no limits, and I have fond recollections of Fariak's Reddywit. She shakes her head. I wish I could unravel the skein of perception and live in the present as so many others. But it is not to be, and so I scramble across the web of time and know the threads of my friends. Interesting. So what can you tell me about the adversaries? She spits in the ground. I waste water speaking of them. I do not know what they are, but I know what they represent. They are the death of possibility, an existential threat to humanity. They sweep minds into themselves, consume individuality, and worship power. And they have learned to counter mine. I am helpless against them. How did you know I'd be coming here? Skeins of lives weave together in a tapestry. Your thread glows. It emerges from the sky, and a great darkness follows in your wake. She waves a hand as if pushing through cobwebs. I have seen you. Where you go, that is beyond my powers. So a being named O is here to give you a vision. He said that you will be the mother of empires. She stares at you, her mouth opening slightly. Her eyes flicker across the bar, landing on no one in particular. I have not received the vision, and yet... A mother? Me? She shakes her head. I am barren. I will give no life. She pauses. Her hands are shaking. She whispers, I see only a stain when I look at myself. Nothing more. A miasma occludes my vision of myself. Ha ha ha, we met miasma. He's right over there. He's kind of a dick. Okay, so he's, I think, totally one of the adversaries. But we'll check that in a minute. Do you know anything about the people I travel with? These guys? Tell me more about Eridus. Yes, tell me about me. She frowns at him and pokes a finger at the golden glow that surrounds him. She snatches her finger back as if burned. His future is bright, but short. Oh, he'll love that. After a moment, he bursts out. Was that it? I expected to hear something about fighting Syrax or leaping heroically onto a flying vehicle and wresting the controls from its savage pilot. I do like to fly, you know. I'm a very good pilot. That's the kind of thing I wanted to hear about. The faintest touch of a sad frown at the corner of her mouth is her only response. So, what about Rin? She takes Rin's hand in hers. Child, the future is uncertain. The one you travel with is a decisive force in your life, though it remains to be seen whether this force is for good or ill. I cannot advise you, for your future is in flux. You must make the choice yourself. These are not super helpful features, but okay. How about Tiber? For the Gallo class, I see only one prediction. Change your ways, or live with your regrets forever. Forever? That's a long time, my dear, and I'm told nothing lasts that long. She turns her head towards him, then looks away, shivering. I've spoken. It's a little weird. Okay, that's all for now. Okay, and the only person we haven't talked to in here is Sir Arthur, King of the Brings. This man has leather, dark brown skin, and hair as white as the full moon. He peers at you from beneath long strips of eyebrows, sucking on a long pipe that has been made from either segmented wood or the leg of an enormous insect. Oh, please be a bug. His clothing is blue and formal, like a priest or professor of some kind. All over him, on his belt, in every pocket, and on both shoulders, even hovering in the air around his head, are glowing, chittering devices of all kinds. Let me guess, he says, sucking from his pipe. A ball of green steam floats away from his mouth. You're a traveler, that much is clear, an explorer. Yet you have the look of a farmer visiting a teeming metropolis for the first time. He taps various relics on his person. Never seen the like, have you? Fortunately for me, or fortunately for you, I adore educating folks on the subject of the Numenera. I've also traveled extensively and have seen much of the world. Go ahead, ask whatever you would like to know. So, who are you? Goodness, forgive me. Sir Arthur stretches out his hand. Sir Arthur Torment, traveler, explorer, and lifelong student of the Numenera. I've seen everything between here and the Steadfast, and I have studied Numenera of all kinds for decades. There is no man more knowledgeable about the Ninth World than he who sits before you, I assure you. Okay, so what are you doing in a bar? Knowledge, of course. I've traveled all over the Steadfast and the beyond, but I had to see what was beyond the beyond. Who knows how much time I have left on this world? I wanted to see for myself. Right, but why are you in this tavern? Libations, he lifts his glass enthusiastically. I'm trying to determine the nature of these fantastic liquids. Also, the people here are quite informative. No better place to learn about a city than its taverns. Fair enough. I know what the Numenera are. How do you know so much about the Numenera? Cipher gathering was always the main source of income for my family. Alas, no more, but I have extended that penchant into pure research. It is not arrogant to say that mine is one of the greatest laboratories in the Steadfast. Why, an entire university has sprung up around my home. I specialize in research and experimentation. Prospective assistants apply almost daily, which is good considering how quickly we churn through them. Right. In your laboratory. So, I'd like to know a little more about the world. To be honest, I don't know anything about it. Of course, ask me anything you like. I've traveled all over the Ninth World, throughout the Steadfast and the beyond. I even know a little bit about this part of the world, the so-called Beyond the Beyond. I've met travelers of all kinds and listened to countless stories. So, what is it you want to know? So, what's the Steadfast? Much, my friend, much. Too much, in fact. The Steadfast is a collection of kingdoms and principalities far west of here, all the way at the end of the continent. He blows smoke from his mouth. It forms into a purple ball and drops to and then through at the floor. Purple and green, very impressive. It is where the Order of Truth holds sway more than anywhere else. There are several different kingdoms, along with scattered villages and Lydias, but they all swear fealty to the Amber Pope and his Aeon priests. Hold on, new word, gonna write this down. Aldeis. You know, I read a lot. I have a pretty extensive vocabulary. It's the fourth word I haven't known in a game. Okay. Amber Pope. Right. He utters a small growl. The Order requires nobles of the Steadfast to fight against the Gaians, supposedly a cult to the north. I've never been there myself, so I don't know the truth, but it sounds like a waste of lives and resources if you ask me. That's why I keep my laboratory in the southern reaches, as far from the conflict as possible. Granted, the Order did ask me to leave after several, incidents, but I was planning on moving anyway. So, what can you tell me about the Beyond? A wilderness between the Steadfast and here. Highly dangerous. His words seem meant to frighten, but he has an excited glimmer in his eyes. Some of the most interesting claves and villages can be found there. I found one village whose people hovered a meter off the ground from birth to death. The villagers of another would tell you the exact moment of your future death. I can't say how accurate they were, although several of my assistants tendered their resignations. Further out is the realm of the most deadly creatures, landscapes, and weather. Oh yes, he sees, seeing your expression. The land and weather itself will rip you apart in several locations in the Beyond. You've heard of the Iron Wind? It is but one of the cruel rulers of that land, although perhaps the most infamous. A cloud of invisible machines altering the physical structure of anything and anyone it touches. He grins widely as he brings the cups to his lips. Truly terrible. Uh-huh. How terrible, yes. So what can you tell me about the areas beyond the Beyond? You're in it, my friend. They call it the Sagas Protectorate, or at least this portion of it. There's the Sagas Cliffs and the Bloom nearby. I've heard of places like Heref and Merolejolios to the east. I'm most interested to explore this Valley of Dead Heroes I've heard so much about. A place to inter the dead? Bound to be some very interesting relics in a place like that. Ah, thanks for the tip. He sighs. In truth, I'm only a recent arrival to this place myself. You'd do better speaking with the locals. So what can you tell me about these different kinds of explorers? Brave and intrepid souls, my friend. Explorers come in all shapes and packages, but I think you'll find that most people prefer to label the bravest explorers as glaives, nanos, or jacks. Yeah, hi, I know. Glaives are the elite warriors, nanos study the Numenera, jacks a catch-all. Yeah, we know this. So why do they call this the Ninth World? An interesting question. He takes a preparatory swig from his cup. One would think it's because 8 worlds came before us, but even a cursory study of the Numenera reveals far too much breadth and variation for there to have been a mere 8 prior worlds that created it all. One might ask then, what qualifies as a world? We could say that the first through the 8th worlds, are defined as the most powerful or influential civilizations of their eras, but even that fails under the most basic reasoning. If the previous 8 worlds we refer to were the greatest of the ancients, then what qualifies this world, wherein we cannot even understand the most basic theories governing a time augur, to be the 9th? A time augur? I assume he means augur as in to predict the future, not as in a giant drill. Although, frankly, that would be more interesting. The truth, I'm afraid, is that what we call this 9th world simply because that is what we have decided to call it. No more and no less. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thanks. And safe travels to you.
Sure it's safe.
So let's talk about the Malays, because I rather think that that's an adversary. I think I may have a lead on the identity of the adversary. I'm grateful for your help, friend. Tell me your suspicions, and I'll see if I can confirm or allay them. So, do you see that man there, Malays? He's watching you. The blood drains from his face. What? Right there? I see nothing. I feel nothing. He grasps your mind with his, not gently, and he echoes in your skull. Anything there is hidden to me. Ziob, can you sense anything? Let me see. In the center of her forehead, her skin iris is open, and a third metallic eye protrudes from her, glowing brightly. Oh, of course. It extends from her head on a mechanical segment, emitting a series of rapid flashes that descend through the visual spectrum. At last, the eye retracts and her forehead closes. She swallows, and you can feel the fear radiate from her. He's right. It's there, on a low pulse, a wavelength far below human thought.
I'll remember that.
A control as hard as synth steel surrounds him. The adversaries have never done this. I know they adapted, but by the Black 3, what has it learned? It has been watching us for how long? Ziob, be ready. Should I help? Yeah, let's throw down. We don't get enough fighting in. Let's confront it together, right now. Yes, we will. He swallows and whispers, We're not ready. We'll never be ready. He closes his eyes, and when he opens again, they glow. But we can die trying. That's less than encouraging. Hold. No one move. I know you're eager to get it over with, and that you're terrified. Don't think you can hide that, Ziob. It's not necessary. We're all frightened. Here, feel. A wave of fear crashes over you, and your body reacts instinctively, releasing adrenaline. Under the fear is a will of iron, an adamantine determination, and a calm acceptance of whatever comes. Alright, motivation talk. We can do this, but we need to work together. Remember our training, and improvise as necessary. Now, let me prepare the killing floor. He closes his eyes, and you can feel reality rippling around you. His strength is undeniable, his mastery certain. Also, we're all on fire. Ready in 3. As the world crumbles around you, a new vision takes its place. 2. You feel the push and pull of titanic minds struggling to establish the rules of this shared dream space. 1. And you sense Dama's control slip for just a moment, and the adversary gains the upper hand. Askis, attack! Attack now! Oh, hi? Oh, cool! This is not good. Dudes, -1 intellect, yeah, thanks. Okay, so what do we have going on here? A bunch of Malays. What's up with you guys? Okay. Stasis, active 2 rounds. Okay. Okay. Well, let's go... Let's focus fire here. Let's hit this guy. Oh, 85 right off. That's okay, because I need to keep our various stat pools up. Good hit. Free! Onslaught. I wish I could have seen what damage type he uses. I'll bet mental is a bad idea. Ah! Stop it! You know, I wonder if we should be focusing a random one, or should we focus the original? Well, let's focus the original first. Or, I'm sorry, we'll focus this guy first. Oh, that's outside my move. I just want to see if I can flank him. Yes, yes I can. Let's flank away. And what do we have here? I don't want to taunt. Okay, let's try this. Sucker punch. 60, 80. Nice. What? What just happened? It stuns them all. Oh, cool. Now I can't target any of them. Yeah, I realized that she is not very good at melee, but didn't really know what else to do. Here, go... I don't know. Go punch something. Now you did some damage. Nicely done. Alright, so let's go ahead. How much health does it have left? A lot! Man. Alright, what if I should use the gravity bomb? Not at the moment, though. I'll do that when they're clustered up a little better. They're all kind of spread out. Oops, guess I can't do that. Okay, well, let's move up just a little bit. Of course. Now, I said no mental energy. Let's go with... transdimensional, maybe? Resistance. Oh, they have resistance? Oh, it reduces them all. Well... maybe I should just take a shot at it then. Oh, I can. Well, okay. Onslaught it is. Well, I don't know. Chemical, let's say. That's really annoying. This is going to use up a ton of mental power and not do much. Healed? Don't heal. That sucks. Well, just go ahead and hit this guy. Really wish we were doing more damage. I'm not gonna have you move, that's fine. I really need you guys to unstasis and, like, give us some help here. Hey! That was nice of you. I'm really worried that we're not even gonna, like, beat one of these guys. Okay, so... we already used Sucker Punch, so I guess let's just go ahead and hit it. Kind of worried about Rin, but we'll deal with her in a minute.
What a shame.
Your work is remarkable, my friend. My thanks. The psychic battlefield fades, and the real world asserts itself. You return to the fifth eye. Oh. Good for us. Applying effort on attacks is critical. Yes, it is. Is it truly over? I almost can't believe it. He pauses and concentrates. No, the cloud is lifted. I can see. His eyes are bright. The city of Saga's cliffs, indeed, perhaps the world, owes you a great debt. Pity you won't ever be able to collect on it. It's enough that we know, my friend. Come now, doesn't the day seem brighter already? Wouldn't know. Haven't been outside. You know what I'd like? Another drink. All the celebration I need. Xyle laughs, coming right up. Furiak pours a round of tall, dark drinks, and they float smoothly to the air to you. She inclines her head gravely to you. You have our tremendous gratitude, friend. Dama says, Indeed, I cannot stress enough the enormity of this. We must tell others of your deeds, whether or not you want this. He tips his drink. Cheers! Then the party begins.
I'm ready to learn something new.
I like parties. So was that the end of it then? Nice. So I'm just going to assume that all we've managed to kill is, like, the one. That can't possibly be the last one. That would be kind of lame, actually. Let's go talk to Leto again, given that we just smacked that adversary around. Maybe her pressing powers are working again. The hero of bright future returns. The cloud is lifted, friend. Thanks to your help, the strands are more clear than they have been for a long time. Now, what answers do you seek? Well, we already talked about the party members. Eridus, Rin, Tiber, other questions. Okay, well, Alright, well, at least we've more or less gotten that taken care of. So, what should we do here? So, we need to find the clones. We're going to track down the murderer once we go back to Mapper. I'm stalling on that. I think we're going to put the Stitches thing aside for a while. Oh, that's right, and I was going to go see if I could find the lady that's been brainwashed. And yes, I noticed that we have 2 people to level up here. All well and good. Should I do that now? Yeah, let's do that now. Okay, so, all I can do is increase stats. And I put some in Might that I probably shouldn't have, so let's just push up Int. Ooh, 2 new abilities. +5 shins, Inspiring Presence. +5 Evasion, +5 Willpower, +5% in all tasks. Wonder if that applies to me as well. Honestly, Cash, Let's take Inspiring Presence. I like auras. Ooh. Scan Thoughts. +1 Int. My mind is an impenetrable tower of iron will, a fortress few can breach. Alright. Energize. Confer Energized, all damage dealt is converted into the chosen type. Oh, okay. So I changed my allies' damage into some type that would be of extra damage across whatever we're fighting. Okay, that's interesting. Innervate. So this removes all negative fettles. Heals 6 points of health, 5 times per day. Channel a subtle esotery through the body of an ally, purging most negative effects from them and healing their wounds. Okay, a heal would be nice. Datasphere link. Machinery, mystical, natural. Ah. The knowledge of the ancients is at your fingertip. With a little concentration, you can summon esoteric knowledge and random trivia. Well, I'm already maxed out in machinery, so I'd get a point in lore, or I'd get a point in natural and a point in mystic. I don't know. Flash deals 8 physical damage to all enemies stuck inside the radius. Even on a miss, deals 1 damage for each level of effort applied. You create an explosion energy with your mind, a swirl of power that bursts amongst your foes. That's neat. Point-blank AoEs are always cool. Adaptation. Surrounds your allies with a little defend them against damage. Oh, it's kind of neat. +2 armor, +1 resistance. Okay. Targeting eye, +15% on esoteric attacks. That's neat. Swap out my other eye. Entropic field. Confers vulnerable, -2 armor, -1 resistance. Neat. You create an energy siphoning vortex, weakening all within its radius. None can stand before you. Targets enemies in a small cone. Flash is the one that I'm leaning towards. I like point-blank AoEs, and I like guaranteed damage. That's good. Helping out my allies would be nice. A heal would be nice, because I don't have a heal. I'm going to pass on Scan Thoughts still, because, I don't know, it'll just piss people off. 1 int would be really nice. Energize, maybe. So let's take Flash for sure, because I like that. I like Entropic Field. Small cones are not great. +15% on esoteries. That's pretty good. Let's get Flash and let's get the Enervate. I feel like that is going to lend me the most flexibility. A PP AoE for in case I get in trouble. Ooh, and I can teleport. And then blow them up. Oh, that is going to be a good combo. I like that. And we don't have any other healing effects, but I do have a point in healing. So actually, it would be sort of silly not to pick one up. Cool. Good for me. Alright, and who else needed to level? Just Tiber. So, stat pools, extra effort, or ability or skill. Let's see. So I don't think he needs int necessarily. It seemed like a lot of his abilities took speed. No, might, feint. What's the cost of this? Oh, it has no extra cost. Oh, that's interesting. Right. So, given that his 2 abilities here are both in might, maybe let's put some more might into his stat pool? Let's put might and speed. That seems like a thing that he would do. Okay, and he doesn't get any new abilities. And that looks like that's it for the moment. Okay, well, that was super cool. So when we come back, I think that I'll go try to hunt down the other 2 ghost women. I may wander around a bit and just talk to people. I'm not going to record the next episode right away, so you've got a chance to, if you think of anything clever, go ahead and put it in the comments, and hopefully we can figure this out. So, alright, well, thanks for watching. This has been exciting, and I will see you next time.